Before we begin, thank you very much to That's Just Primal Rage Against the Machine Wars for joining the Patreon campaign. That is a 4-layered reference. That is fairly impressive. Good job. Good job. Also, another bizarre one. But thank you very much for the support. Once again, we're almost caught up. So fair warning, if you want to keep the streak alive, I'm not even going to hide it at this point. I know there's people out there who do. If you want to keep the streak alive, if you want me to just say something funny for your amusement, please feel free to pitch in at the Patreon for $1. All right? So $1 makes me dance like a monkey for you. So, it is news roundup time. Once again, I am in a position where I really should get it done quickly, but I'm probably going to go over 20 minutes as usual. There is a lot of news to get through. I was hoping with the movie out, it'd slow down. Apparently not. Apparently the movie is still in existence. So we still have a lot to talk about, and a lot of people want to capitalize. We're going to start with something that literally came up as I was preparing today's news roundup, and that is this shot at that very next Buzzworthy 4-pack, and it is all for troop building. We have a re-release, what seems to be a re-release or minor repaint of the Alicon, complete with a brand new head that is swappable. We've got a generic blue Seeker that's totally not Thundercracker. I don't know why they went with that. It's a very weird, it just looks like Thundercracker. It just looks like Thundercracker. I'm sorry, make it purple, something, anything. An Auto Trooper out of Deluxe Ironhide from Siege. That's an interesting pull. Again, alternate heads. And then you have the G2 Dead drone. That's a pull. That's a really random pull, and it's using the Skullgrin mold, so that's how they're reusing that figure. That one also with 2 heads, and that one seems to have the most retooling of anything going on here. This is a really weird 4-pack. It's all troop building, but it's only 1 figure of each, so it's going to require people to buy this multiple times, and you know people will buy this multiple times. It's great because it's a Buzzworthy multi-pack, which means eventually you'll be able to find it half off, and then you go nuts. Then you build your army. So, kind of cool. It's an interesting set. Not sure if it's anything I would really go after. Maybe if I find it on clearance, but it's going to be cool for those who like to troop build. Let's get into some of the other stuff that people found this week. Someone got their hands on the new Evolution Leader class Dreadwing. Dreadwing looking very Transformers Prime in his bright blue color schemes here. It's just a repaint of Skyquake, which we pretty much expected, but it was more a matter of who was going to come next out of all the potential figures from that Skyquake, and his brother from Prime is the next choice, so no huge surprise there. Looks good. It comes with a new underarm cannon weapon. I don't know why they're pushing this like underslung like weapon thing, because it doesn't look good. It doesn't really look good. It does come with a fold-out blade as well, just like his original did. See, look at the comparison. Like, he looked good. They look good. Man, I'm into this. Another one I'm not sure I'll pick up, but it does look really, really nice. He turned out pretty well, considering he's just a repaint with a new weapon. We also found this repaint. All right, so for those who are looking for their Toxitron collection to come out at Walmart soon, this is the Dead End that we are getting, continuing the slow trickle of G2 Stunticons. Pretty much exactly what we expected it to look like. It's got tampagraphs to replicate the stickers from the original unreleased version. It's got the original bright red color scheme. Nothing really to say about it. It's the Dead End figure again, just far more vibrant and neon, and we look forward to however else they're going to get the other 3 out. Because if we have to wait for like 1 per capsule line, it's going to be quite a while. This came up too, and this was the talk for a while this week. This is I can't do that. Sorry, tried to zoom in, won't work. This is the rumored dying Prowl for Studio Series 86, and there's a conundrum in my head to this. I mean, number one, it's kind of morbid to actually depict Prowl at the moment of his death. But also, they've retooled it a little bit. His face has a much more sullen expression on it, and he's got visible damage in his front end, and that is sculpted in. That is not a paint job. It's weird because it's like he gets shot through the chest, but he's got details sticking out from his chest in this one, which is a little bit odd. His eyes are also not the burning orange they were when he was dying. It's really super weird to have a figure mid-death, and that is the release that we're getting. It bugs me because this release does away with the translucent plastic. So this would be a very secure figure. Keep in mind, the original version of this toy uses clear plastic for the knees, which worries me all the time. This would be great if they didn't resculpt it. If there's just a repaint with a new solid plastic, I'd be all over this as it stands. It's just kind of a morbid choice. It's just a really morbid choice. Oh well. Oh well. Something else less morbid. Takara announcing the next of their Beast Wars Again versus sets, Rattrap and Terrorsaur this time. And because Terrorsaur was so annoying to get your hands on the first time, I have no doubt this one is going to be the set that sells out. These seem to be pretty easy to get on pre-order pretty much anywhere. A lot of times these like Takara premium stuffs are for quite a while, but given how rare that Terrorsaur was, or at least how annoying it was to get, I can absolutely see this one being the one to go to. So don't really like sit on this one. If you missed out on Terrorsaur, go ahead and get your pre-order in now, because I get the feeling this one's going to evaporate quickly. I still don't even know if I want these. I mean, I'm trying not to spend as much money as I used to on things like just like minor paint upgrades. This is not minor by any stretch, but like I'm still okay with the figures I have from Kingdom. So I think I might just be good with that. They are very pretty though. They're very pretty. Now, we also had a little bit more Beast Wars news out of Takara. At Tokyo Toy Show 2023, they announced a Masterpiece Rhinox is in the works. No photos allowed, but they did show his weapons as a teaser. And yeah, that's actually cool to know that the Beast Wars Masterpieces are still going. There was actually quite a bit of information on the future of Masterpiece in general. We're going to talk about that in its own video later on this week. For now, let's just take into account that, yeah, the big guy is getting a full Masterpiece toy. It should be huge, it should be very expensive, and hopefully show accurate, because I have been left wanting by most of the Rhinoxes I have seen at retail. Now, another big news for the week. We have the official announcement of where the G.I. Joe and Transformers comic book license has landed. And it's going to be Image Comics and Skybound. So yeah, I mean it's the Robert Kirkman franchise studio. Not studio, but like they're going to appear in Void Rivals, which is the Kirkman, Lopez, De Felici, their comic books there. And then the first cover of it is already up. Jetfire is kind of an interesting one to go with as like the first example of like, this is our take on Transformers. You'd expect Optimus or Bumblebee or something, but no, this is actually kind of an interesting choice. To be honest, I don't know much about the comic creators. I don't know much about these things going on. Like I don't know much about Image Comics. I'm very behind on comic books in general, but we'll see how it works out. It's always interesting when someone new gets their hands on the Transformers franchise, and we'll see what happens with it. Speaking of these franchises, a little bit of movie news. So, Rise of the Beast may already have a sequel that's been greenlit. Bonaventura and the director were talking about, that they were not through with the Maximals, and that they're already developing the Rise of the Beast sequel. And that's good to hear, because I don't want to be done with the characters. I don't want to be done with Noah, Mirage, the Maximals. It's good to know that they are coming back. So that's cool. That's cool to know. So yeah, get to look forward to that. Like I said, like if you didn't see the reviews, I did quite like Rise of the Beast. Don't listen to the critic reviews. It's very similar to the Mario movie, where the critics were expecting something that movie was never going to be. If you know what to expect going in, you're gonna have a good time. But you cannot let yourself get expecting like high cinema, big original, unique story, etc., etc. It's never gonna happen in a Transformers movie. You're in there for a popcorn flick, and as popcorn flicks goes, it's the best attempt Transformers has ever made, in my opinion. So, to kind of spin off of this, yes, Optimus Prime is officially now in Fortnite. He's in the Battle Pass, which means you have like 2.5 months to get the pass and earn up the levels in order to unlock Optimus Prime. There's a clean version, there's a weathered version, and there's also a Optimus Primal skin that you can buy individually. Strangely enough, there's some missing things in the set and some obvious things they did not do. That is another video that we'll be doing very near in the future, just to kind of examine how this character was implemented into the most popular game in the world. So we'll keep an eye out for that. This is just me striking while the iron's hot and seeing if I can get away with one video game-based video, right? Well, as long as it's on topic here. Let's talk about some of the oddball stuff that's coming up this week. So, see, what is this company? Icon Heroes, right. Icon Heroes has shown off their takes on Optimus Prime and Megatron bobbleheads. They are not Funko Pops. They are proper bobbleheads with the jiggling head and all that. So they are advertising these as convention exclusives at San Diego Comic-Con. 8 inches tall. Not bad. Not bad for the bobblehead aficionado. Looks good. Strange, but that's the thing for a bobblehead, right? Super 7 is back to their Super Shogun figures. They already did Optimus, and I can't walk into a GameStop right now without finding the Shattered Glass repaint going completely unsold on the shelves. But quite a bit after they put out their Megatron, their Optimus Prime, and their Bumblebee. Now we're getting the Megatron release. And it's pretty much, I assume it's going to follow the same pattern as the other Super Shoguns. I assume the chest is going to be removable to see the gears inside. Limited articulation. It's mostly just a really big, just like a really big cartoon accurate standee of the figure, essentially. You know, it's definitely a retro thing for a lot of collectors out there. So if you're into it, that is coming out. You'll have a nice big Megatron to put on a shelf somewhere. Super 7 also, if you have very little space to show off figures, they have announced they've put out the official images for their Reaction Beast Wars figures. So, Cheetor, Dinobot, Black Arachnia, Megatron, Optimus Primal. I hate that these look good. I hate that I am actually like finding this scratching an itch. And I hate it because I hate reaction figures. I think they are way overpriced for how simple they are. And how small they are. I understand they are solid plastic constructed, which is more expensive these days, but still, for the size, like, there's no bang for your buck for me. But these scratch an interesting itch because the Beast Wars toys are never going to be show accurate. So non-transforming figures like this are the only time you're actually going to get show accurate versions of them, and they're going to be small enough to just keep on your desk without really interfering with anything. Right now, I only own 2. I own the Blitzwing and I own the Unicron because the Unicron was funny. I might be interested in these. Might. Only because, yeah, just as little figurines for the Beast Wars cast, they don't look bad. They don't look bad. Speaking of Primal, though, YoloPark is teasing a new release, and it is Optimus Primal based. You can see his big leg here, kind of shadowed, but it exists. They have not mentioned what toy line this is in, because they do high-end figures, and they also do the AMK model kits, which we just reviewed on the channel. Please go check it out if you have not. It's I think, yeah, as of this video, it's like the most recent video I did. So please go check it out. They are fantastic figures and kits, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by them. I'm hoping this is a kit in the same vein, so we can have, like, at least some beast representation. Some kind of transformation representation, right? But we will see. We will see. It might be one of their high-end figures instead. If you want more non-posable Rise of the Beast stuff, there's a few companies out of China that have you. These non-transformable figurines have been announced. We have some 3D prototypes and all that, and they don't look bad. You can see they're teasing most of the cast from the movie. Looks like they're doing beast modes as well. Looking not bad, not bad. You can see some of the G1s that they're doing as well. They come with bases, swappable hands, weapon accessories. They're slightly stylized. Not to an extreme degree, just enough to kind of put a little bit of flair on them. They don't look bad. They don't look bad. They're fairly little, again, very small, little desktop-sized and friendly figures. There's others as well. I think this is a completely different toy line. So, again, Rise of the Beast base, but this one also has some interesting paint homages. You've got a glowing Mirage who's going into, like, invisible mode. You have Optronics. They have labeled him Optronics, which is Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. Scourge, color schemes we never saw these characters in. And they did a bug bite out of the Bumblebee, which is actually kind of interesting to go with, like, the go-to repaints. For characters who have not seen them yet. The Mirage is actually neat being done in like half translucent plastic, and it's clear it's going to be small scale, like soft plastic, so I'm not really worried about survivability on those. Scourge, we have close up of him. There's close up of Prime. These are again like a nice little aesthetic if this is the kind of thing you're into. But to my knowledge, these are only being released out of China, which means getting these in America is not going to be the easiest thing. But for the diehard collector, I'm sure you'll find a way. Oh, just kind of a neat thing. This might be the only time we see movie Bumblebee as Bug Bite. Alright, what else is coming up? Yeah, so here's just another quick shot. These are the same figures we showed before. These are model kits done by a company called Buluke. Or Buluk. I'm not sure which one. But this is just a better look at the ones we saw previously, with the bases and all that. They are very simple to assemble, as you can see by the instructions there. Nice and posable, simple little kits that give you some nice posability. So, yeah, these are nice little things on the way if you can get your hands on them. If you want something bigger that doesn't transform, ThreeZero just announced its DLX Optimus Primal. We've seen the announcements before. These are the official show-off of the prototype. And yeah, even in like all flat gray plastic, he's looking really, really good. Articulation looks fantastic on him. Detailing, sculpt look really, really good. He's got his sonic blades. Really nice. Really nice job. Like high-end figures like this are beyond my affordability, but for the people who collect these, I've heard nothing but good things. So I'm assuming their Primal is also going to be quite good. All right. We're keeping on the white repaints of Optimi because for their MDXL, the smaller scale, they're repainting their Optimus Prime into his Ultra Magnus colors. It's been quite a while, I think, since I've seen an Optimus Prime repainted into the white Ultra Magnus. I've kind of a soft spot for it because I had one growing up. So it's kind of interesting. Not something I would I get really into collecting now, but I know there's people with a soft spot for it too. So you're going to have a really nice option soon. We have a little bit of artwork. We have a little bit of merchandise to talk this week. For first and foremost, we have a licensed Beast Wars art print by Vincent Asio, and it looks fantastic. Represents the entirety of the Season 1 cast. All the Maximals are present. Megatron is behind them, and then we just kind of like, and also starring Waspinator, Scorponok, Inferno, and more. It's a weird choice, but okay, so at least all of them are present, and it is a cool looking poster. Optimus Prime is trying to hold on to a floating spark as if he was charging the Kamehameha, or name an anime attack. This looks like he is charging up right now. It doesn't quite look like a spark the way he's handling it. But no, it's a fun poster. I'm glad that all the entirety of the cast is represented. It looks pretty good. If you want to wear your Maximals, something from Rise of the Beast, Goat Crew just did this as part of their licensed apparel for Transformers. We see the Maximal cast looking pretty good. Like I wouldn't get a hoodie because I'm in Florida. I would die. But this does look nice. I do like the look. So yeah, they've got t-shirts, hoodies, caps, a lot of unique art that we haven't seen of these characters yet. So yeah, go check it out if you need something from the movie. If you need merch for the movie, merch is out there now. What? I've not been to Goat Crew. Let's see. I might have to snip this if they have something I'm not a fan of. Yeah, okay, so for large print shirts like this, not really shocked, you know, $40, $60. That's what a lot of these, like, super expensive, like, large print shirts go for these days. You know, $34.99 is not terrible. So, okay, I'll leave that to you to determine whether or not this is worth your money. And let's wrap it up. Something else that is out there now, we have no idea, we have very little knowledge about it. There's a company, Tongshifu, I'm probably mispronounced that. A Chinese company that specializes in die-cast statues have announced that they're doing copper statues of the Rise of the Beast cast, all in scale with each other. So this might be some of the most accurate representation you're gonna get as far as like statues go of the characters. Yeah, it's an interesting little mix. There's a copper statue of movie Rhinox in existence. This is weird. No idea if they're going to be available outside of China, but this is one of the most niche things I've seen. Statues, yes. Specifically copper statues, a little bit weird. But that's going to be our news for the week. See, I got through it kind of fast. There's a lot of stories to cram into just over 20 minutes, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're caught up on your Transformers news for the week. And as always, I will see you next time.
We're going to have to get your names for the books. You, Pale 1.
William Current.
Roll me a deception check.
I thought their name was Pain.
Roll a disadvantage.
Okay.
That was like the opposite of the help action there. You, Goblin.
First name D's.
Watch your tongue.